Hello everyone, welcome to BayernNow, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. Today is a very news-packed day because Hassan Salamans, he has finally evolved and he's doing a real Pokemon final evolution type things. He's doing amazing business, but basically in an interview yesterday, I think, when was this? I'm not exactly sure who was it with, but I'm not exactly sure. Basically, he said something along the lines of Bayern will do transfers. Yesterday when I read it, I didn't really see anything of it. But then I was thinking, and I was like, he's hinting at something here. Basically, on the transfer strategy this summer, or not this summer, just in general, he says teams don't give us much space, and that's true. A lot of teams do like sitting off us. They do like sitting back. The thing is, sometimes we score a goal after working hard for maybe 20 minutes, and then they come at us. They, press us higher to try to give us more problems, and then we can hit them on the break and score goals. That's how Bayern games usually go, where a lot of teams sit back. Look at Atletico. We peppered them for 90 minutes straight, but we couldn't score, and just one counter did that to us. But before that, we peppered them. So basically, he's saying teams don't give Bayern much space. Therefore, it's good when the player, midfielder or striker, has the ability to prevail technically in tight spaces and under pressure. They also have to have a good character. The team is the star. When he's saying they have to prevail technically in tight spaces, I think you and I know who he's talking about. I don't know if everyone else in the back. I think he's talking about Havertz, guys. In the back, he's talking about Havertz. Who's one of the best players in the world, or one of the best young players in the world right now when it comes to technical elegance in tight spaces? I have not updated this screen, but everybody loves these screens. Kai Havertz, 20 years old, passing, finishing, dribbling, through balls, holding the ball, headed attempts, weaknesses, crossing, but that's inflated because of how WhoScored does it. Defensive contribution, tackling. He's not a CDM. I don't expect him to be a good tackler. If he is, that'd be weird. But Kai Havertz, 20, worth 100 million, technically good. If you thought of a player that was technically tight and amazing in tight spaces, you would associate that with Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz is one of the first few Germans that I'm looking at. I'm like, damn, this guy he has sauce. He has Brazilian sauce. He just moves different. Mesut Ozil was doing the samba dance, man, at Schalke. And then he went to Real Madrid. And then now he's at Chelsea or something. But now you're seeing the technical ability. That's what I was talking about. So the tight spaces, the ability to maneuver across the pitch. Kai Havertz is basically on skate. Bro, I love these types of players. These ballers that just, when they're on the pitch, they just ooze through, God. They just, and then they do this sometimes, and then it's just a little bit of this most of the times. Ooh, I love slow dancing. I don't know why, but that's what I mean. Like, these players that are technically good, the tech is higher than everyone else's. Thomas Muller, I've always said this about Muller, he ain't a good first touch type of guy. Kai Havertz he has a sexy first touch. The way his first touch, he brings the ball into his whole body, and then he can just turn, or he can just pass the ball off, lay it off. And technical elegance is something that a lot of these younger players are having. João Felix has it, where you're not taking 5 touches to get past the player. You take your first touch, and then you make a decision, your next touch, you get past them. You make a simple pass, and it's always effective. And that's what I mean. You combine that with excellent vision and excellent awareness on the pitch, and you get a Kai Havertz. So he's talking about Kai Havertz when he talks about a player that's technically amazing in tight spaces and have a good character. The players who can also strengthen the team are always something special. Strong characters with footballing qualities and who give everything for the team. He also, in regards to Davies, he also said, we want to be early and more creative than the others. So he's talking about the young transfers. Kausi, Bayern were creative and faster than everyone else on these younger signings, these prospects. Not every single prospect will work out. What if Tanguy Kausi comes in and he's crap? It's not every young player in our academy will become a baller. Some of them might go to Fahrenheit in fricking the Netherlands, or even Groningen and play with Arjen Robben. Like, some of these ballers aren't ballers like that. And there's a lot of players that we've had over the years in the academy that aren't good. A lot of these players, look, I saw a tweet that came out 2015 when Kimmich joined, and there was 4 other players. Everyone else knew who the 3 other guys were, but they were like, who's Kimmich? Who's this Kimmich guy? Hope he's good. Hope he does something well. Hope he actually proves himself. The three guys that everyone knew and thought they were ballers, I don't know any of them at this point. They don't exist anymore. They're probably playing ball at the third division in Germany. And then Kimmich is the guy that everyone didn't know. They were like, "Who's that guy? We signed him for 8 million. Who is that?" Hope he improves. Hope he proves himself. But then the one guy that no one knew, that's who became the baller. Alphonso Davies. Was Davies like, oh my God, world wonder kid? Everyone's on him. No, not that many teams were in for Davies like that. Is my music too high? No, it's not. No, not everyone was into Davies that much. But Bayern came in with the offer, with the creative offer, and I think that's what differentiated us from different teams. And also, Hassan Salamander was not satisfied. You know what I was thinking last night? Bernie the Bear. I was just thinking about Bernie the Bear and how much alike with a bear Bayern are. Bayern are the exact same way a bear is. You come out one time a year, and the rest you're hibernating. In the winter, you're hibernating. That's what happens with bears. Bears are sleeping a lot of the times. They're hibernating. They just sleep, eat. That's it. For the entire winters, I think. That's how Bayern are. Bayern will win the Champions League, and I always wonder, are we going to strengthen? Are we that type of team? But when he's saying that, I think we will. I think Bayern have learned a lot of mistakes over the years, especially since 2013. We will strengthen. Look, I do think Kai Havertz will join Bayern, but when he talks about the players, obviously we know Sane is joining Bayern. I'm just gonna put everyone loves the graphics, so I can't stop putting these graphics up, but everyone loves them. I mean, look, bang, yep, come on, Leroy, show up. Yes, Leroy Sane, 24 years old, 100 million market evaluation, key passes, finishing, dribbling, passing, aerial duels, and just pretty much crossing as well. Everything that you can think of as a footballer, Leroy Sane is amazing. He's sexy at it. This guy could probably turn on. I was gonna say he could. Yeah. Let's not say that. I was gonna say he could turn on a lesbian, but that's not something I should be saying. But yeah, defensive contribution, his only weakness. But Sane, 24 years old. We don't want a 25-year-old Sane. We want a 24-year-old Leroy Sane to be running down the wing. Sane, Leroy Sane, running down the left. Sane. So Hassan Salamans, or as people like to call him, Brazo. I like to call him Hassan Salamans because he's a Pokemon and he has been evolving. He was a Belga and then he kept evolving, and I think that's absolutely superb. Let me tell you his evolution. So he came from a Shogun. A few years ago, he was a Shogun. He was begging players to join Bayern. Callum Hudson-Odoi twerking for him. But he started from a bag on. That was when he first got in the job, right? 93 pounds, 2 feet tall. That I could punch that with my freaking finger. Bow, bow, punch you right there in the face. You die. But he started from a bag on. And then he went to a Shogun, a little bit stronger, but still twerking for Chelsea's Callum Hudson-Odoi. Doing that, not something we wanted to see, right? It made us look a little bit weak. But then now he has evolved to Salamans, because his name actually, you know what I mean? But now he's 4'11", right? So he's really tall and he's absolutely strong. His instant ability is intimate, right? He gets close and up close with players. He kisses players and then he says, "Join me at Bayern." And then that's it. That's why I call him Salamans. My goodness. What happened to my subs? Says Nit. What did happen to my subs? I'm not exactly sure what you mean. You don't have the money for a right back, a winger, and Kai Havertz. Well, look, at this point, after what Sergino Dest said yesterday, the kid is a weirdo, man. He's so weird. Why is he saying, I want to be the most expensive right back of all time? This kid strikes me as someone who, if he joined Bayern, maybe in 5 years after his contract ends, he'll probably go to PSG and demand a whopping $1 million a week. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of these types of ballers. Like, of course, be arrogant. Cristiano Ronaldo's arrogant, but he's also really good on the pitch, so his arrogance don't mean nothing. Haaland, in a way, is arrogant, but you could tell he's good on the pitch. So for me, Dest ain't that good. He only had one half a season of proving himself. So I may be a right back. Maybe we're not on the right back train. I don't think we're on the right back train destiny. I think Bayern will sign Sane, and if there's potential that Havertz leaves this summer, it has to be for Bayern. Bayern will have to do something. And I think when Bayern's board, Hassan Salamans, came out a few months ago and he said Bayern are looking for a top European talent. For me, that was Leroy Sane. A lot of people think it's Tanguy Kausi. Of course, he's a talent, but he ain't world-class, European class like that. And then the second class of player, he said a German international star. And that, for me, is Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz is the German international star. And look, Bayern can't be missing out on Havertz. He's German. Bayern's the best club in Germany, one of the biggest in the world. You have to join a club of that stature. And I think we will do transfers. It just depends on when. And like I said, Bayern, of course, our mascot just has to be a bear. We hibernate all freaking year long, and then we get up for food once in a while. So we'll probably win the CL this year and F off it for the next 7 years, 10 years, and come back next decade. You think Bayern can buy Sane and Havertz? How much would it be? I'm a Chelsea fan from Brazil. Thank you. Thank you, Ronaldo. Okay, so basically, I think Sane. You also have to realize there are situations like Boateng, who maybe a few months ago we knew he was probably going to leave this summer. January, I thought Boateng was going to leave, to be fair. And then you also have players like Javi Martinez, who was supposed. I think he'll leave if Adrian Fine comes in. So we have players in positions where we can fill them in. And I think we also have Tolisso, who's apparently going to leave. So for me, I see the departures. We could potentially get our departure money up to 70 million if 3 players leave. If Boateng, 10 million. If Javi Martinez, 10 million, in that range. That's 20 million. Tolisso, 40 million, 35 million, whatever it is for Inter Milan, because they really want him. Conte needs him. Then we're looking at maybe 60, 70 million for those 3 players. And obviously, since we get Coutinho, Perisic, and Odriozola leaving, we have about 6 departures potentially at the club. And I think Bayern will have to do business to replace these players. And I think 6 players out, obviously we get New Berlin on loan, and also Ulreich might leave, and Bayern won't demand any money for him. So I actually think it's a good idea. I joked about it and I was like, we need money, but it's a very logical thing for Bayern to do. He's a player that's done some things with the club, and he should leave for free. And I think that would make sense. So someone said you had 1.6 thousand subscribers, now only... we never had 1.6 thousand subscribers on this channel. This channel has never had In fact, we just reached 1,100. Did that Herbert guy confirm any of this? He said Herbert. You said the I don't really care. Just accept that Bayern is. Look, why is there arguments every single time I go live? Oh God. Harvey deserved a farewell. Now there's no game for his fault. Well, think about it. We still have the UEFA Champions League, and yeah, that you still have that. I think, like I said, I think there will be fans. Imagine Javi Martinez's farewell and Boateng's farewell as a freaking Champions League final after winning it. That would be the perfect farewell. I think the Champions League will have fans in it. I just don't see how UEFA don't greedily make fans get in the stadium. But yeah, we still have situations where there could be fans for Bayern. Maybe the semifinals. I can see a situation. At least 60% of the fans will be present, in my opinion. UEFA themselves, the UEFA president has said they want fans in the stadium. And they're keeping every option open. And they're going to be constantly updating. And I think by the end of August, we'll be surprised that, there were fans in there. And I think leagues are going to start slowly integrating people back into the stadiums. And that will happen, by the way. Bayern aren't going to play all of next season with no fans. The Girona is slowing down. Apparently, some trusted sources came out saying, in the US especially, the death rate is heavily inflated. And I'm looking at it, and the NBA is back. The MLB is back. The Super Bowl they don't play it in the summer, but it will be back when it should be back. We have a lot of sports returning, And the Serbians, the Russians, they already got people back in the stadium, rocking up and down. La 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 la. Yeah, the Serbians got them people rocking down the stadium. So for me, the way I see it, I do think there will be fans in the stadiums. Maybe that's me just being stupid or something. I just think maybe that's the situation. Wait, where and when did the board say their transfer ambitions? Well, Infinity Stones are Shaggy's kidneys. Look, what basically came out of Hassan Salamander's mouth, his mouth, our director of football, he basically confirmed a lot of the ambition. He said in the transfer market, Bayern are looking for players because of the fact that we don't get much space in games. We're looking for players that are technically good, midfielders and strikers, have the ability to prevail technically in tight situations and under pressure. They also have to have a good character. The team is a star, blah, blah, blah. So for me, I interpret that as we're looking for Kai Havertz, who is technically great in tight spaces and has the technical ability to prevail in any tight situation and under pressure. That's how I see that. A lot of people might read it differently. I think Bayern are looking for Kai Havertz, Leroy Sane. Kai Havertz might not happen this year, but I don't think Bayern would be willing to allow a player that fits us so perfectly. I think this guy's a regen of Thomas Muller. He's so perfect for our system. So I don't think Bayern are willing to do that. And I think there's going to be a lot of departures. So even if we don't get Kai Havertz this year, or even if we, if Chelsea are like, if Bayern know, dang, Havertz would go to Chelsea if Chelsea offered the money. Bayern would be like, you know what, we're going to be all over this. They're going to sell players, Bayern. We will get rid of some players. We will free up some positions. Tolisso will leave most likely. Boateng will leave most likely because of Tanguy Kausi coming in. And you can't put a player like Kausi on the bench. It just doesn't make any sense. He's 18 years old, balling for PSG, playing like 30% of the games. Absolute monster. And you just look at that, and I think that's how it will work. I think with the players we have leaving, Javi Martinez as well, Coutinho, Odriozola, and Perisic could leave. Two of them we know will definitely leave. Perisic, there's still a concern that he might stay. Well, not a concern. There's still a big unlikeliness that he stays at the club. So there's a lot of things that you move around for some things to happen. Also, Leverkusen did not get CL. Actually, I'm glad. Like I said, Leverkusen are crap in the Champions. All they do is get kicked out of the freaking group stages. I need ballers in the Champions League, and I think Marco Rose and his team are much better. They are gonna make the Champions League more exciting to watch next year. Because I love when Bundesliga teams get promoted. People think I'll sit here and be like, Dortmund lost to PSG. No, you all remember what I was like. Please, Dortmund, win against PSG, because it just makes us better. And I think, when it didn't happen, I wanted to cry, because how can you be beating PSG 2-1 just to go easily bottle it? And that just doesn't make any sense to me. But in terms of that, I think with Leverkusen not getting the Champions League, there's also a concern that Havertz will want to leave immediately. But it could also come down to the DFB Pokal. Let's say Bayern throw that, Leverkusen get a trophy. Havertz will be like, dang, this club is a big club. And he'll want to stay for a longer period of time. And I think that could genuinely happen. So it is what it is. I think we just have to wait for things to happen and for different things to unfold, for transfers to be made. And also the German transfer window. I don't think the world transfer window. So if Bayern were to buy Sane, he couldn't join. I think the German transfer window opens in July and it should end in August. So a good 2 months there. I think transfer windows will be maneuvered based on how different leagues finish. And I think that's really, really important. Timo Werner as well came out and said it was Chelsea's idea for him not to play. By the way, leave a like on the video. I do appreciate each and every single one of you that's tuning in. You might be a Chelsea fan. You're not new. We had a day where it was a lot of Spurs fans. But because Bayern and Chelsea are linked to the same player, I expect people of different clubs to be watching. And obviously this channel is at least 80% Bayern. But it's also there with some Chelsea fans and some Man United fans and things like that. Nothing. I don't really care. Look. Oh man, so many arguments. God damn. Can y'all relax? Can y'all love each other? Look, Thiago's there in the cup. I don't really care at this point. At this rate, I think if you look at the overall perspective. Why is this chat so toxic? Oh my god. Y'all are going in on each other. Oh, people are weird. You take this too seriously, man. I don't even take myself this seriously. I laugh at the majority of things I say and do. Because I'm a funny person. I'm playing. I'm not that freaking egomatic. Laughing at myself every single time I make a joke of any sort. And thinking about the jokes I made the day after I make them. And laugh and explain to myself why it was so funny. I think at the end of the day, it's just about determining who's who. I think that's what it is. Yep, I think that's what it is. It's about determining who we're signing, what we're signing, and you can justify any signing. You can probably justify Bayern signing Timo Werner, even though we never wanted, or even he even fit us. I think that's the thing. That's the thing. I love the toxicity in the chat. That's funny because I love it too, but it's very weird. It's very weird. Bayern will do transfers. We won't be complacent. I feel like that's the thing with the transfer window. Someone was asking me what will happen with these transfer stories. First of all, they're all gonna boost. Every single day we're gonna hear something different, and I think that's cool. That's the most important thing about transfers. That's what football has so different from American football and basketball and all these sports. In American football, you have the draft, you have and the NBA, you have that. You can trade players, and MLB, you basically trade players. You don't really buy players, you trade them a lot. And I think with football, you just have this different thing. It's just so much like it's a machine. It's so much nicer to talk about a transfer for this sport than any other sport, because we all know Tom Brady would leave to go somewhere else. It's just so different. I think that's what I love about this. And I appreciate each and every person that's tuning in. Mario Gomez have canon. Werner don't. Yeah, Werner's weird. Arjen Robben is back from retirement. Yeah, Arjen, welcome back from the dead. I thought he would. Why couldn't he just retire? Because I genuinely got so emotional when he was at the farewell speech that him and Ribery did. Ribery's was a much sadder because Robben was just like, bye. I love this club. Bye. My career. Bye. Ribery was crying, and I was just more emotional about that, despite the fact that, Arjen Robben's my favorite player of all time. And yeah, Robben's back. I'm obviously gonna be watching him. I'm a FC Groningen fan now. He's getting the number 10. Of course I'm gonna be watching every single game, week in, week out. I'm a Groningen fan now. Groningen now. This is what the channel is gonna be called. Yeah, because I love Robben so much. I can't wait for the cut. Oh, he's gonna do that again. Oh, but he's not gonna have any pace whatsoever. Oh my god. I hope he does have something different about him though in the Eredivisie. It will fit him. You know what's crazy? Robben never got to 100 goals. He got to 98 Bundesliga goals. That actually annoys me. The Flying Dutchman is absolutely back, and I can't wait for him to fly in actual. I don't understand why we call him the Flying Dutchman. I know he's Dutch, but he wasn't in Dutch. That's a stupid logic. I shouldn't have said that. In relation to other transfers, like I said, the German window opens, but apparently Manchester City would have been interested in an Alaba and also a Leroy Sane type of swap, which if Alaba's going to City and Sane's coming to Bayern, I would say Bayern should be the ones getting money, because I think Alaba right now is higher value than Sane after Sane's injuries and problems across the year. So I think for me, that's the situation. Also, Bayern are interested in loaning out Mikel Cousins, but it also has to do with the situation of Thiago, Corentin Tolisso, and Javi Martinez. The same way it has to also do with Havertz and the money and things like that. And I think that's important. I think that's what I like about Bayern so much, and our board sometimes is they aren't just going to rush into selling a player or keeping a player. Well, they do rush into keeping a player. I mean, that's the thing sometimes. I love the fact that our fan base, we're not like Real Madrid where, we just boo players. No, that would never happen at Bayern. If that happens at Bayern, I could just disown myself and just it wouldn't be, this club wouldn't be the same without the fans. The Bayern fans are, I think, the most caring people on earth. They are so understanding, and I think every single player that comes into our team, our fans just offer them so much support. And I think we're not Real Madrid in that regard. We don't boo our players. Although we're a top 3 club of all time, a player could be playing crap for us. We ain't booing, boo, boo. Well, what would boo in German be? Jeez, Pepe. I don't know. That's probably German for booing. But we don't boo players, and I think that's one thing I like about Bayern. What was I gonna say about that? Oh yeah, and that means that sometimes because we don't boo our players, it means that sometimes we accept anything. We don't have to accept anything. There's a thing called understanding something stupid and also booing and hating someone. I think you can know that someone's crap, but you don't have to hate that person or player or whoever it is. Arjen Robben, I love Robben, of course. He's the reason I support Bayern. But he got too old, man. How are we getting rid of Robben at 34, 35, whatever age he is now? Arjen is 36 years old. He left us last year. Was it last year? Yes, last season, end of last season. I thought it was 2018 for 1 second there, but it wasn't. End of last season, he was 35. Frank Ribery is 36. These are old ballers, man. No, Ribery's 37. Oh my God. They both left. Robben was 35. Ribery was 36. These are, nah, you can't have this. Of course, like I said, Bayern, when we don't boo players. No. We won't boo our club. We won't have banners saying someone out. Even when Kovac was crap, we didn't have banners. We all knew no one wanted Kovac here, and I didn't even want him when we signed him because I knew he wasn't experienced. He didn't have what it took for me. He didn't win enough. He wasn't a tactically proven coach. That's what I was thinking with Kovac. But we never booed him. I never sat here and was like, boo Kovac. He's so crap. Well, I didn't have any subscribers. I had maybe 3 subscribers and they're all me. But at that time, we didn't. But we have to be demanding. But we don't have to boo. That's the thing. Robben and Ribery were 35 and 36 respectively by the time they left this club. That is absolutely crap. How can you have that as a top club? No, of course you love your players, you embrace them, you hug them, you kiss them, and then you betray them like freaking Judas did to Jesus that one time. But you have to be very understanding when a player is just too old. And I think that's what was wrong with Bayern for so many years. Robben and Ribery, we never really we still haven't replaced these ballers. We still haven't replaced 2015, 2014, 2013 Ribery, Ballon d'Or winning Ribery. We still haven't replaced him. Sane is the first step to that. But in 2016, we wanted to get Sane. Why not? Why didn't we? Let me tell you, it's a fact. We didn't get Sane at the time because Robben and Ribery was still okay, and we didn't feel as if we needed to urgently do it. I always say Pep Guardiola underachieved at Bayern, and therefore he can't go down as one of Bayern's best ever managers. But I have to also be very logical. Pep didn't get backed as much as maybe he should have. Of course, he had one of the best teams in the world, and you could always make the case for that. But he didn't get back like that. Like, if, you know what I mean? If Bayern bought Pep, or not Pep, if Bayern bought De Bruyne, maybe Pep would have stayed. Whatever, it is what it is. Maybe I'm just thinking too much. FC Bayern are Europe League level. We are Europe League level. Europe League is the Champions League. By the way, leave a like on the video and share the videos with family, friends, and girlfriends. And make sure, and boyfriends. There are women watching this. They just don't speak. I can look at the analytics. There's a good amount of women watching this. I should stop making sexist jokes. I don't ever make sexist jokes. Now you think I do. Now you're going to go back to old videos and try to see them. But it's not going to happen. Look, at the end of the day, I think that's the situation at the club right now. I think Bayern should be very, very aggressive, but also relaxing. I think that's what it is. Bayern should be a relaxing club sometimes. We do need to relax, and I get it. But sometimes I feel like we relax too much. I sometimes feel like Bayern are too reluctant to do business, to do transfers. And I think we do have the transfer ambitions this summer. And if we let Kai Havertz go to Chelsea, or if we wait too long for Leroy Sane, we will lose out. maybe we'll get Sane for free next year, and everyone's gonna be happy. Like, signing of the billion years, signing of the century, yeah, bargain of the century, yeah, cool. But I'd love Sane now. You know what I mean? Real Madrid don't go and wait and say, oh, you know what? Eden Hazard's contract expires next year. Let's wait for for his contract to expire and then get him when he's 29. No, they were like, let's sign him, and that's the situation. And I think that's what Bayern's about. I think that's the situation. Just everything. Thoughts on Cousins' recent performances? Mikel Cousins. Well, when you say recent performances, you mean versus Wolfsburg, because that's really his best game in a Bayern shirt, I think. So for me, I think Cousins can be a baller, but we also have to look at it, from a general perspective. Is he better than who we have at the moment? No. And Cousins, he's not an attacking midfielder. People think he is. He'll score bangers, but I think he was a pivot. He was playing in the pivot with Goretzka in that game. So that wasn't really a DM performance. People think, or an attacking midfielder performance. Cousins isn't an attacking midfielder in my opinion. You're right, we have to use Lewandowski's best year because of this year. We need Sane this year. Yeah, I mean, even Lewandowski. What if there's a situation, maybe 2 years, where Lewandowski's like obviously going to be 34, and we're thinking to ourselves, and we are overusing him, or he's getting old. We have to be ruthless, but also very caring. This is, you have to be almost like good parents don't let their kids run over them. They discipline their kids, but they also embrace their kids and love them and accept them. And I think Bayern are, sometimes we, think we're good parents, but were we good parents to Arjen Robben and Ribéry by letting them stay too long? No. Robben and Ribéry probably went to Bayern and were like, we'll leave. You could replace us now. We will leave by ourselves. We will pay ourselves out and leave. Obviously, their contract expired. But it's just, I always felt like the extensions, 1 year, one more year for Robben. And opportunities where we could have sold them, no, we don't. And of course, you keep your legends and you give them a hug. But you sometimes have to understand, maybe it's just their time to leave. We think about Alaba and we're like, if he leaves, he's not a Bayern. Some people are saying that, which is not true. He is a Bayern legend. I mean, the guy's been at the club and at the top level for God knows. He's been one of our best left backs ever. I mean, actually, he is, to be fair, with everything he does on the pitch. And his versatility is something that you don't see that much in football, especially in modern football. Not that many players can be versatile like Alaba. Left back, center back, his main position is technically a CDM. And I think we'll see over time how things will work. I can't wait, though, for the transfer window to open. You know what? It's kind of weird. Is it just me? But I always get this feeling, especially when when I'm looking forward to something. I feel like it will never come. I feel like it's taking forever. I feel like the Champions League's return and even the DFB Pokal game we have in 5 days. I feel like that's been 3 months I've been waiting. I always feel like it's taking so long. But just think about this. In literally 2 months from now, we will know who the Champions League winner is. 2 months from now, we will know who the Champions League winner is. Less than 2 months. From this date, August 29th, we will know who won the UEFA Champions League. Because the final's on the 24th. Europa League's on the 23rd. So, 2 months from now, where do you see Bayern? I think, let's change the topic in the comments. 2 months from now, where do you see Bayern? Do you see us going, yes, we won a champion? Oh man, I would cry if we actually do. Oh my God, I've never watched Bayern in the Champions League final. That would be the greatest day of my life. Obviously I'll have school. Do a live stream, of course, Denim. We will be doing a live stream on the Pokal. I will cry. Havertz is better than Grealish, of course he is. He is better. Do you go to school as well, or is yours closed as well? Well, it's summer. I don't know about some of you that live abroad, but it's summer for the majority of people. George is going to replace Bayern as Thiago's replacement. Of course, George, I'm an amazing baller. I'm a baller. That's what people call me. I'm a baller. I see Bayern giving everything on the pitch and winning that treble. That's good. Bayern have easy opponents. In the Champions League, Chelsea's pretty easy, to be fair. So I mean, look. Imagine. See, this is I get this. This weird feeling. I really believe in the treble. I do too. I get this weird feeling though, where I feel like Bayern will dominate a game for 90 minutes. We'll go 1-0 down in the 72nd minute or something. And the last minutes of the game, we will try to equalize. We will keep going. We will equalize. But something will happen, a lapse in concentration, and a counterattack, and we'll lose 2-1. I just get that feeling. Oh my God, please, God, no. We have lost too many finals, man. I can't stand another loss. Just the way we lose too. It's not even like we usually lose being the better team as well. It's really, really irritating. God, why are y'all so y'all are some football activists, man. Like every single one of you, you're all activists. Like you're so weird. You're acting like this is a life situation. All of you type, this, I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense for me. I forgot you're in the US. In UK, we have 1.5 long summer and like 5 other short holidays. You have the one long 3-month holiday. Yeah, we do have the holidays and then 1 week. But school is not back for me. A lot of you are, obviously in the UK, and also, the majority of people that watch are from the United States too. So I just assumed everyone had summer the way we did. My bad, but to be fair, the world is that different. I think that's the most important thing. Bayern's negotiation tactics. How much is this? $5, sir. Well, here's 50p, F you, and that's how Bayern are, man. I don't even know what 50p really is, to be fair. Where were you in the Champions League when Bayern won the Champions League? Where was I? I might have been on a... Okay, well, it was May. Well, school would have been out. So I would have been at home or at the library in 2013. I used to go to the library a lot because I loved the library for some reason. I just loved going in there and reading books. God, what a weird kid. Yeah, so that's where I would have been. Yeah. And then obviously, I didn't watch the Champions Leagues. I didn't even watch the 2018 fight. I don't really care. I didn't really care. I only watched the World Cup really in terms of sports matches, and also the Super Bowl. Those ones. Yeah, really sad, isn't it? Obviously, the Super Bowl is going to be everywhere in America. Bayern fan for more than a decade. Wow, you must be old. God. Leverkusen didn't make Champions League. With Leverkusen too. The DFB Pokal match in 5 days. I can't wait to do the watch along on that, by the way. That's going to be an amazing. Have your post notifications on because that's going to be sick. But that Leverkusen game. Would it be a Leverkusen just come out flying and we may be complacent because we think, oh, we got this in the bag? Oh my God, that would be the worst type of... Oh, jeez. That's how we lose a lot of DFB Pokal matches. I feel like we just lose a little bit of the concentration and the other team just bangs. That might be the situation. You never know. But, under Kovac, I always felt like that was the situation with us. Even Liverpool. Remember that first leg? We absolutely... Defensively, we were perfect against Liverpool. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And then, just it. Leverkusen can still win the Europa League. You think Leverkusen will win the Europa League, Denim? Well, I know it's in Germany, and they might like it, but nah, come on. That Leverkusen game may be tricky, especially with their fast counters and pace with the lack of concentration at times. Even when we won against them 4-2, they've beaten us this season, but when they won against us 4-2, Leverkusen, I felt like, dang, they could have won this, and maybe that's it. I want Havertz to score against us. Well, that might make Bayern's board Bayern, to be fair. I'm not a Bayern fan, but in my country, we know everything about Bayern. It's our club. Wow, nice. Yeah, the Leverkusen game, like I said, will be tricky. You were 6. That's absolutely amazing. let's lay off the abuse, guys. Let's relax. You know, I could turn on a bot that literally will, if you type a message more than once, it will ban you. But that's obviously not what I'm gonna do. Leverkusen is pretty trash. Well, that trash team beat us under Hansi Flick when we were high flying, had beaten Dortmund. That team beat us. They beat us in the last minute, I think. Actually, no, that was Mönchengladbach, where Javi Martinez got a red card. No, that was Leverkusen. No, I don't know who he was. But I think, you know, don't underestimate Leverkusen. Don't underestimate anyone. Arjen Robben comes out of retirement. That's kind of crazy. Well, I know I already read that. So, like I was saying, don't underestimate Leverkusen. We lost to Leverkusen and Gladbach. These are the only two teams that Hansi Flick has lost against. And it wasn't because we were crap. We weren't crap. Davies had one of his best games versus Gladbach and Leverkusen. He was absolutely everywhere. We were not crap against Leverkusen and Gladbach, but we did not play well, and that's the difference. When you don't play well, that's the difference. I take Robben at our club, right wing, right now. To be honest, I mean I'd take him too. Yeah, Leon Bailey was actually very good. Leverkusen, no, we didn't. Yeah, that's what I mean though. Like when you dominate and lose, that ain't really dominating because you didn't score goals. Dominating for me is you get 15 shots, you score 4 goals. That's for me how I see domination. 15 shots on target. That's how I see domination. You can dominate a game, but you don't score, and that's not domination. That's just you having pointless possession because you didn't score from it. You could have created chances, but it's still pointless because you didn't score. And I think that's Inter and Leverkusen could be teams that you see in the Europa League. But yeah, we have a Pokal game in 5 days, and I can't wait for that. Happy Monday to everyone. It's the end of the stream, but thank you everyone so much for tuning in. It's been an amazing stream. The channel is constantly growing, and we're constantly gaining new faces on the channel. So make sure you subscribe to the videos, to the channel. Let's get to 1,200. Now that we're 1,100, I can stop saying 1,080, 1,070. So 1,100, let's get to 1,200. Make sure you share the videos. And yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching. I do miss Robbery, Joe White Waves. I do. Mia san mia and peace. Can y'all stop arguing? God. Let me insert an ad. I inserted an ad because all of you won't stop arguing. Cool. The video didn't end, did it?